Hmm. Keep the heading dual nature of particle. Actually, na this you keep the de Broglie, right? Top of that down you keep the dual nature of particle. See, particle is having two natures. One is it is having particle nature. Which nature? Particle nature. Another one is it is having wave nature. Wave nature. There are two natures for the particle. What are those two natures, children? Tell me. One is particle nature, another one is a wave nature. Okay, ma'am. What is this particle nature? Particle nature was explained by an expression Einstein equation, that is E is equal to mc square. This expression will explain the particle nature. And coming to the wave nature, E is equal to h nu, which is equal to hc by lambda. This will explain the this expression explains the Planck's quantum theory, that is E is equal to hc by lambda. It explains the wave nature. This explains a particle nature. This explains a wave nature. What de Broglie done was he related both energies. He related both energies. What is that? mc square is equal to hc by lambda. Can we equate these two energies? De Broglie equated both the energies. Then this C is cancelled. Where the C is velocity of light, velocity of light, replace that velocity of light with V, that is velocity of electromagnetic radiation. Electromagnetic radiation, or velocity of a particle, or velocity of a particle, velocity of a particle. Understand? So what I'm going to do now, in place of C, I am going to put V, because this E is equal to mc square is for velocity of light. I'm going to replace with the particle's velocity or a moving body velocity. Then it is m into V is equal to h by lambda. Then I'll move lambda that side. I'll bring mv this side. So lambda is equal to h by mv. This is de Broglie's equation, where h is an Planck's constant and m is a mass and v is the velocity. And mass into velocity is nothing but momentum. So mass into velocity is nothing but a rho. Rho. See how I am pronouncing rho. Rho is nothing but momentum. Momentum. Just this for your understanding only I have discussed, but you no need to derive anything in your exam. Just lambda is equal to h by mv. This is one formula. Or lambda is equal to h by rho. This is another formula. That's it. These two formulas you have to remember. Clear, everybody? Repeat de Broglie's equation. Lambda is equal to h by mv. Your student IDs are must over display. Please check it out. Lambda is equal to, what is the formula? H by mv is the formula, or lambda is equal to h by rho is the formula. Okay. Now, let us see. Listening? Listening, class? All of you? In class only? Okay. Kinetic energy is equal to half mv square is the formula. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to divide and multiply with m. Multiply with m. With m. So Ke is equal to half mv square. I am going to multiply and divide with m. Because m cancel, again we get the same formula. No, we can do that. After that, half m into m is m square into v square divided by m. Then this square, this m will be cancelled. Once again. Then what will be? Rho is equal to mass into velocity, or rho square is equal to mass m square v square. So in place of m square v square, I am going to put rho square. Rho square divided by 2m is equal to ke. Then rho square is equal to 2m ke. And then rho is equal to square root of 2m ke. Why, madam? Why you are doing all this? Because I want to, create another formula, that is lambda is equal to h by mv. We have one formula, no? Understand? In that we have lambda is equal to h by rho, na? In that rho place, I can put 2m ke also. So this is another formula. Total you can skip and you can put only three things in your mind. Lambda is equal to h by mv, lambda is equal to h by rho. You are not repeating. I want repetition. See how many times I'm repeating. Lambda is equal to h by, please repeat. Lambda is equal to h by mv. Lambda is equal to h by rho. Lambda is equal to h by square root of 2m ke. Whereas kinetic energy ke, we can put q into v. Because change in kinetic energy is equal to change in potential energy, whose formula is q into v. You can put here h by square root of 2mqv. Understanding? What are the terms? Terminologies, right? Mass. This is simply, here you write mass. For what mass? If they are asking in a question, electron mass, proton mass, neutron mass, depending on the question. V is a velocity, right there, velocity. What is the rho, children? Tell me. Momentum. Repeat. Hello. Repeat. Momentum. You should repeat and you have to write. Repeat, write. No one is writing neatly running notes. Huh? Why? Where is the concentration? In your, if you open and see different color pens you have to use. For heading, one color pen. For answer, one color pen. Important formulas decoration. Don't say it is not possible. It is possible. Lambda is equal to h by mb, which is equal to h by rho, which is equal to h by square root of 2m ke. What is the ke here? Kinetic energy. And then q is equal to, what is the q? Charge. What is the q? Charge. What is the v? Velocity. Once again. What is the Q? What is the Q? Volts, no? Why velocity came here? Q? Volts. Volts, because here this V is velocity. This V is volts. Both we represent with a V only. V only. That is volt. Okay? Which and all comes with the Q, volt. Unit is volt, which means potential. You write there potential. If in a question, potential, 5 volts of potential, 6 volts of potential is given, then V place you have to substitute that potential. Understand? Okay, na? And here I want to give you some information like electron, proton, and neutron, or some alpha particle, or mostly they'll come because charge will be there on alpha particle. Right there, electron, proton, alpha particle. What is the charge? Normally what we represent electron? Minus E. So, but here we don't put magnitudes, just E. We write E. This is E. This also proton also E. And alpha particles are nothing but helium 2 plus, right? So 2e is the charge. What is the charge? 2e is the charge. Understanding? Understanding? Charge on one electron, how much? 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 joules. Minus 19 coulombs, correct? What is the charge on proton? Same charge. 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. Next, charge on alpha particles are 2 into 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. Okay? Clear, everybody clear? Okay, fine. Mostly we put E, E, 2E. Coming to the mass. Mass. Mass of electron is how much? 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg. What is the mass? 9.1 into charge on electron is E minus, but we write it as E only. I mean, okay, E minus, but we don't put any charge convention before it. E minus, we write E only. Charge on proton also, we take E only. Like you can consider, let's say H. We can take same thing. This is minus C, this is plus C. We usually take no, this is minus C, this is plus C. But here we take mod only. No difference. And coming to the mass of proton, 1.67 into 10 to the power of minus 27 kg. Am I right? And we consider this as MP, then helium mass is 4 times that of MP. What is that? This is mass of electron. Mass of electron and mass of proton. If you observe, mass of electron very, very less than mass of proton. That's why we consider mass of electron sometimes, like in a starting we discussed, it is very, very less. We can, few they say it's a zero mass. But while problem solving, we don't put zero. We put 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg. What is the important data I have given? Mass of electron is 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg. Mass of proton, if you consider MP, mass of neutron is 4 times that of MP. Clear? Mass of not neutron, alpha particle. Mass of alpha particle is 4 times that of mass of proton. Everybody clear? Okay. Next. If suppose in question they have given you lambda is equal to h by square root of 2m ke plus you substituted qv, right? Lambda, I wrote this formula. Lambda is equal to h by square root. Square root I kept there when I'm explaining. I kept na. Lambda is equal to h by square root of 2m qv, no? So this is charge. Charge on electron and mass, everything you have to substitute. See, this value is 6.626 into 10 to the power of minus 34 and joule second. And this is mass, that is 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg. This is the charge on electron is how much? 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19. Joules only, na? Coulombs. What is that? Expression 9 minus 1.602 into 10 power of minus 19 coulombs. Correct, no? Next, this is volt. If you substitute all the constant terms and we do the conversions, then finally we have to convert again joule into kgs. Again, coulombs also we have to convert in joule format. And then we have to get the lambda. Yes. Q is a charge. V is a potential. Next, if you substitute all the data and you do the conversion, then only we can find the lambda. Instead of doing this big method, you have to use this technique, that is lambda is equal to square root of 150 divided by V. This is a potential, that volts which is given. If you do, you will get it directly lambda in angstroms. No need to follow the above method. Clear? Everybody clear? So no need to change the units, nothing. Just lambda is equal to square root of 150 by V in angstroms. Done. And then, or we can, if sometimes what they will do is directly in options like statement type question they'll give you and they'll ask you. Then square root of 150, we can write it as 12.23 divided by, this is square root of V is another formula. If you do, you'll get in angstrom. This is direct in statements they give, then you can identify. Lambda is equal to, what is that? 12.23 divided by square root of V. Please repeat. Lambda is equal to square root of 150 by V in angstroms, or 12.23 divided by square root of V in angstroms is the formula. Understand? Till now, total how many formulas we have discussed? Repeat. First formula, lambda is equal to H by mv. What is the second formula? Lambda is equal to H by rho is the second formula. What is the third formula? Lambda is equal to square H by square root of 2mke. What is the next formula? Lambda is equal to H by square root of 2mqv. Following? Following. Next, what is another formula we discussed? Lambda is equal to square root of 150 by V volts, or lambda is equal to 12.23 divided by square root of V. Any question, let them give. It comes under these categories only. This, that, they give this, they'll ask other. They give one, they ask other. Okay? Got the clarity? And coming to the another important thing. Most 99.9% where your question falls there. Lambda is equal to what I'm discussing, H by mv, no? H by mv. So here, this H is 6.626 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second. Joule second. And this mass is 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg. If they are asking for electron, this is the data. If they give for any other particle, means they will only mention in a question like 100 grams, 50 grams, 5 grams mass. They will only give mass. If they give mass, that mass only you substitute. Okay, na? V is the velocity. Its unit is meter per second. So what I want to discuss now, here always, mass always should be in kg. Should be in kg. It is must. If in question, if they give 100 grams, let's say, initially 100 grams, means you have to convert into kg. If 200 grams they have given, convert into kg. How you convert into kg? Grams divided by 1000 you do. Grams, that value divided by 1000 you do. You will get in kg. Listening now everybody? Must and mandatory, mass should be in kg. And velocity should be in meter per second. What are the units? Meter per second. And H is there, no? Its a unit is joule second. That joule we should convert in another format, that is 1 joule is equal to kg meter square per second square. This is the unit. 1 joule place, because denominator mass is there, mass in kg, no, and velocity also in meter per second, right? So we have to, instead of joule, we should take this unit when solving the numerical. Okay, what is 1 joule value? Kg meter, oh sorry, kg meter square per second square. And again second also there here. That second, this second will cancel. That is the next step. You can do while doing substitution. That's it. Over. Clear? Got the clarity? That's it. You don't get any other conversions. Fine. Write one question. It's not based on conversions, just relation based questions. First we will see. Important. Calculate wavelength of alpha proton and alpha particle. Calculate the wavelength of proton and alpha particle. Sorry. Compare wavelength of proton and alpha particle. We have to compare their wavelengths. And actually that only we should calculate. Actually, compare. We'll do comparison. The data is if their momentum is same. First thing you tell me, lambda is equal to, what is the formula? H by mv, or tell all formulas. H by mv, h by rho, which is equal to h by square root of 2m ke, which is equal to h by square root of 2m qv, which is equal to square root of 150 by v, which is equal to 12.23 divided by square root of v. Okay, all formulas are in your mind, right? Now they were telling with respect to momentum. So which formula we have to use? Formula number 2, h by rho. Okay, based on a question. For example, the same thing they were asking, if their velocities are equal. Velocity is there in which formula? Lambda is equal to h by mv. Understand? If suppose they were asking kinetic energies are same. So which formula we have to use in this part? Lambda is equal to h by square root of 2m ke. Done? If suppose if they accelerated under same potential difference, means volt, v. V is there in which formula? Last formula, lambda is equal to h by square root of 2m qv. So depending upon the question, are you getting my point? Where what information they have given, that formula we have to use. That's it. These are only the formulas under de Broglie expression. Okay, and then how to substitute, how to solve. Compare wavelength of proton and alpha particle. So let's say this is proton. Let's say next one is alpha. So ratio I'm going to take. This is the relation between lambda and the rho. Anyhow, this h is a constant. If equation 1 by equation 2 I do, it will be cancelled, or I can directly write like this. Lambda is inversely proportional to momentum. Lambda is inversely proportional to momentum. So, lambda of proton is inversely proportional to momentum of proton. You are getting my point? Wavelength of alpha particle is inversely proportional, so it will come top. What I want to say is both are inversely proportional, na? So that momentum of alpha particle comes here. Or I can write like this: L1 lambda 1 by lambda 2 is equal to rho 2 by rho 1. Easy, no? 1 is for proton, 2 is for alpha particle. Now they were telling both are same. Let's say rho, both will cancel. Then it will be 1. Because both in a question they are telling if their momentums are same. So alpha particle and proton's momentum same, both will be cancelled. Then wavelength of proton is equal to wavelength of alpha particle. This is the relation. But every time na proton alpha particle writing no little confusing. So I'll use 1, 2. It is easy. 1 is for first given data. 2 is for second given data. First given data is proton. Second given data is alpha particle. Following no? Little bit understanding, right? See the next one. Same question. They were asking if their velocity is equal. If their velocity is equal, how to solve the numerical? So velocity is like lambda is inversely proportional to the lambda. Let's say lambda 1 is equal to h by m1 v1. Lambda 2 is equal to h by, because h is a constant, m2 v2. So it is inversely proportional to mass into velocity. So lambda 1 by lambda 2 is equal to, can you tell me what we'll get? Equation 1 by equation 2 you could do m2 v2 by m1 v1. By seeing this only you can directly write. Let's consider lambda 1. Let's consider lambda 2. Equation 1 by equation 2. So, lambda 1 by lambda 2 is equal to m2 v2 by m1 v1. Fine. Then, what they were telling, their velocities are equal. Can I cancel both their velocities? Fine. Then, lambda 1 by lambda 2. In question, they told velocity is equal. So, m2 by m1. Two term I used for which one? Alpha particle, na? And one term I used for proton. So mass of proton, let's say MP, mass of alpha particle is 4 times of MP. This information you already I have given you. Clear? Then MP cancel. Wavelength of 1 is equal to 4 times that of wavelength of 2, or wavelength of proton is 4 times that of wavelength of alpha particle. You got the clarity? Huh? Just I have taken the formula, which term is constant, I removed that constant. I mean, which is equal, I cancelled out. That's it, and found a relation. Next question I'll give you. You try doing. If kinetic energies are same, your time starts now. Wrong also, no problem. I'll do it and show you again. Please try. You can try with a pencil or one rough paper. It's okay, fine, no problem. Then, what's the answer? Let me check. Lambda 1, anyhow constant, that is lambda 1 by lambda 2 is equal to square root of 2 also will be cancelled. M2 KE2 by M1 KE1. Anyhow, KE also constant. Same, equal, cancel it will be. Only M is a variable. So M2 by M1. Directly actually now by seeing formula only we can say H is a constant, it will cancel. K is the same, which is same or equal, it will be cancelled. What is left out term, that only we can take in a formula directly. So square root of M2 by M1. Mass of alpha particle is 4 times that of mass of proton. So 4 MP divided by MP. MP will be cancelled. Square root of 4 by 1, that is 2 by 1. So you can take the ratio 2:1 ratio or 2 simply, depending on the options which is given in the question. Will you try next question? Most important. Take screenshot. If still copying anyone, please take screenshot. Hmm. Come on. If they accelerated under same potential difference, lambda is equal to h by square root of 2mqv. 2mqv. Come on. So what is same? I don't do like before everything. Directly can we do h is a constant we can remove. 2 is a constant we can remove. Then v is a potential they are telling it is same. So everything lambda is inversely proportional to square root of mq is only left. So what I can do? Lambda 1 by lambda 2 is equal to square root of m2 q2 by m1 q1. Okay, done. Next, this is the relation between mass of what is the mass of alpha particle? Anjana Devi, done. What is the mass of alpha particle? 4 times that of the mass of proton. Mass of proton is just mp. Alpha particle is 4 times. And what is the charge on alpha? Alpha is nothing but helium 2 plus. So 2e is the charge. So 2e is the charge. This is 2e. And this proton charge is just e. This e cancel. Proton cancel. Then square root of 4 into 2. Square root of 4 is 2. 2, I'm bringing 4 outside. 2 root 2. Understand how I kept the 2 root 2? Square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 4 is 2. The 2 comes out, still square root of 2 is left. Or you can write it as square root of 8. Anything. Mostly 2 root 2 you will see in the numericals. Understand? So square root of 4 that bring outside 2, then 2 root 2. Clear? This is a relation based type of questions, mostly most important. Next. Here is a question. Your time starts now. I already told you how to do. Calculate de Broglie's wavelength of a golf ball of mass 100 grams traveling with 100 kilometers per hour. I want wavelength. What is the formula? What is the wavelength formula? Tell me. Wavelength formula, come on. Okay, think how to do. Lambda is equal to what is the formula? H by mv. What is the H value? Say 6.626 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second. 1 joule is equal to, can you say how to convert 1 joule? What is the unit of joule? Tell me. K, kg. Where kg? kg, kg meter square per second square per second square. I'll write directly minus 2 per second square. Still second is there. Why I wrote second power minus 2? Because per second square only I wrote like that. For cancelling, it looks easy for us to cancel. And then this is 1 joule value. 1 joule value. Okay, fine. Next, mass. How much? 100 grams. 1 gram is equal to how many kg? 1000 kg. 1 gram is equal to 10 power of minus 3 kg. So, what I told you, mass divided by 1000 I told no, that 1000 only I wrote like this. 10 power of minus 3 kg. I got mass and velocity. velocity, what I have told you, it should be in meter per second. They have given how much? 100 kilometers. 1 kilometer is per hour. Hour they given. So 1 kilometer, how many meters? 10 power of 3 meters divided by 1 hour, how many minutes? 60 minute. 1 minute, 60 seconds. You understand how I converted hour? 1 hour, 1 hour, 60 minute. 61 minute, 60 seconds. So directly I place 1 hour place 3600 seconds. That entire thing I'll bring here. Again, this unit conversions comes in next chapter, mole concept. Okay, I'll guide you how to do the unit conversions. And then this is 10 power of 5 divided by, what happened? Raising hand? Any mistake? Finished, huh? 100 into 10 power of 3 meters per second divided by 3060 into 60. Am I right? Step by step. 60 into 60. Then how much it will be? First, what I do is I will bring all the 0, the 0, the 0, the 0 cancel. Only 36 will be left. That 36 comes top. Okay, fine. Then remaining all, this I will separate. Minus 34. See how I am doing numerical. 34 I separated. Minus 34. Then denominator 10 power of 3 is there. If it comes top, 10 power of minus 3. Then here plus 3 is there. If it comes top, this is minus 3. If it comes top, plus 3. Both will be cancelled. Then still 10 power of 2 is there. 100 means if it comes top, 10 power of minus 2. Then it will be 6.626 into 10 to the power of, 36 into 10 to the power of minus 36. And coming to the units. Once see the units. See the units. This kg will be cancelled. 1 meter will be cancelled. 1 second will be cancelled. Another second is there, no? Denominator. It comes to numerator. Then this second also will be cancelled. Then it will be only meters will be left. And this is the unit of wavelength. So what I want to tell you can stop here. My intention to explain this question was, you see the wavelength, very small value you got. Very small. What is the meaning of very small? Very small in the sense you forget about this. You just say 10 power of minus 36. 10 power of minus 36 means its wavelength is almost negligible. Then what de Broglie told was lambda is equal to h by mv. That particle is having so much of mass, that is how many kgs? 100 kg na? 100 kg mass, 100 grams mass it is having, bigger mass. So it is a ball, more mass, less wavelength. So more mass, the particles which are larger mass, larger particles, larger mass, then wavelength is less. So those particles are called macroscopic particles. Macroscopic particles, they have less wavelength. Macroscopic particles, less wavelength, they have more particle nature than wave nature. They have more particle nature instead of wave nature. What we studied starting, one particle is having both particle nature as well as a wave nature. That object or moving body, like a ball. If you throw a ball, instead of moving like a wave, it moves like a particle only. Just it goes. Okay. But if you see lambda is equal to h by mv, if mass is very less, like electron, protons, neutrons, then wavelength is more. So microscopic particles, microscopic particles. What happens microscopic particles? They have less mass. Mass is less, then their wavelength is more. So those particles have wave nature. They have wave nature. So microscopic particles have wave nature. Macroscopic particles have particle nature. This is what de Broglie's concept. Understand? What is the de Broglie's concept? Microscopic particles have wave nature. Macroscopic particles have which nature? Particle nature, because they have more mass, less wavelength. Less mass, more wavelength. Got the clarity? Say yes, ma'am. Show me your thumb like this. Yes? Very good. Now, let us see one more question. Your time starts now. An electron is accelerated from rest under potential of 6 volt. Calculate lambda. 6 volt, if you want, you write. Calculate lambda. I told you one shortcut, one technique. If volt is given, how to find lambda in a single step, I told you, you should use that only. If you see textbooks and if you use long procedure, Damal, your time will be wasted. Come on, tell me, what is the formula? Which formula? Last formula you have to use, that, not last, before last. Lambda is equal to square root of 150 divided by V in angstroms. Then lambda is equal to 150 divided by, this is for electron only, this formula. For proton, neutron, alpha particle, it will change. So they don't ask you. Mostly they'll ask this only. If they ask that, then everything you have to substitute and you have to find square root, which is a difficult procedure. So that level won't come for you at all. Okay. Lambda is equal to square root of 150 by V. V is how many potentials? 6 volts, 6 volt. Okay. Then how much it will be? 150 by 6. 6 2 sir, 12, 3 0, 6 5 sir, 30. Then it will be, how much it will be? 25. Root 25 is how much? 5 volts. Everybody clear? Done. How many of you able to do it? Ma'am, I understand. Understand. I understand. For what? Units, angstroms. Angstroms is a unit. 150 square root of 150 by V. Okay, now. Very good. Super. Shall I give you one question? Will you try? Huh? Your time starts now. I have given you two masses. I have given you two elements. So substitute their charges. You can see the charges here. Q's on the top and mass. Mass, Q, both. And potential, they're telling same V. So think which formula you have to use. First copy the question. 60 seconds time for you all. Fifth finished. Ninth class student finished. Correct, na? See, competition. Huh? Ninth, eighth, seventh, sixth are coming. You should study. As a repeater, you should not tell a reason. Huh? Example. Okay. What is the question? Compare wavelength of Li2 plus and Be3 plus. Molar mass of lithium is 7. Molar mass of beryllium is 9 if they are accelerated under same potential. So wherever potential is there, then which formula we have to use? Lambda is equal to h by square root of 2mqv is the formula. Where potential is same, so V is same. Anyhow, h is a constant, 2 is a constant. Then lambda is inversely proportional to 1 by square root of 2mq. Only these two terms are there. Now, lambda 1 by lambda 2 is equal to square root of m2 q2 because inversely proportional na m2 q2 by m1 q1. Two term for second element, m term, one term for first element. So what is the first element? Lithium. Second element is beryllium. Second element mass. How much? Beryllium mass 9. What is the beryllium charge? That power you should see 3e. 3e. 3 is the power. Plus 3 means 3. Plus 2. Helium is 2 plus means 2e. Okay. H plus means only plus e. 1e. Okay. Like that. Mass of lithium is 7. And charge on that lithium is 2e. 2 plus means 2e. E cancelled. So you can substitute directly that number also. For your understanding, I put 2e3. By seeing this only 3 by 2 like that. 3, 2. Charge place you can put. And then you will get 9 threes are how much? 27 divided by 2 7 twos are 14. Clear? You also got the same thing? How many of you got? How many of you got? Do you know? We successfully finished de Broglie's concept. One small thing is there, that is a relation. Done? Understand, everybody? And all able to do? Show me your face once. Very good. Come on, high five. Super. Ready? Again, one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, start. High five. One more time. Next page, students, I did not see. Ready? 1, 2, 3, start. High five. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. I'm very happy. Now, let us see the next one. Relation. We discussed Bohr model previously and now de Broglie. Let us see the relation between these two, de Broglie and Bohr. What Bohr told was electron revolves in a circular path called orbit. In this place only electron will revolve. And he gave a relation MVR is equal to NH by 2 pi. This is the relation Bohr gave. And what de Broglie gave? De Broglie gave that electron revolves in the form of a wave. Electron revolves in the form of a wave. Electron revolves in the form of a wave. Suppose from where to where one wavelength, from here to here. The distance, what do you mean by wavelength? Remember the distance between two adjacent crusts or adjacent troughs or crust and trough we discussed first day or second day class. Wavelength. Second day class. Wavelength. What do you mean by wavelength? From this is crust, top one is crust, down one is trough. The distance between these two. Or the distance between these two, half of. Or the distance between these two troughs, half of, is called as a wavelength. And then de Broglie gave lambda is equal to h by mv. He gave an expression. One is Bohr model. This is Bohr, and this is de Broglie. Both explained about electron only, but both gave in a different ways. And then What you can do for V from the Bohr model? V is equal to NH by 2 pi into MR. From that formula, I got this formula. Listening now? Repeat what I did. MVR is equal to NH by 2 pi. That V only we want. Move that entire MR this side. Then it will be NH by 2 pi MR. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to substitute this in this V place. What I'm going to substitute? H by M into, what is the V? NH by 2 pi MR. Then M cancel, H cancel. Then what is left? 2 pi R denominator. It goes top and down, N is left. So this N, lambda is equal to 2 pi R by N. That N I'll move the side. N lambda is equal to 2 pi R. That's it. You no need to derive this expression in your exam, but I want you, all of you, remember this formula. What is the formula? N lambda is equal to 2 pi R. What is the N here? What is N? Tell me the terminologies. Children, tell me what is the N? Number of orbits, or number of shells. Copied, na? Copy. I'll tell you. I'll go to next page. Copied, no? Ah. Can you see the screen? Tell me, n is equal to, n lambda is equal to 2, n lambda is equal to 2 pi r is the formula. This is the relation between the de Broglie and Bohr model. What is n here? Number of shells or number of orbits. Number of orbits, or if they ask number of waves, this only. Number of waves. You can directly say, if orbit number is 1, number of waves how many? 1. If orbit number is 4, number of waves will be how many? 4. Directly from number of orbits only you can say the number of waves. And R, what is R? Radius. We know already radius formula. What is the radius formula? 0.529 n square by z. They may give directly radius. If they don't give the radius, they may give element, orbit number, substitute, and then put there and calculate the wavelength depending on the question. Understanding? Understanding? This will give radius in angstrom. If you want, again you can convert angstroms into meters. How to convert? 1 angstrom is equal to how many meters? 10 power of minus 10 meters. Tell me the relation between nanometers and the angstrom. 1 nanometer is equal to 10 angstroms. Correct, no? Clear? Understand? Now, here is a question. An electron is revolving in 4th orbit of hydrogen. What happened? Message? Ma'am, screen not clear. Screen not clear, huh? One thing we'll do now. 30 seconds laughing exercise. What is that? 30 seconds laughing exercise. No reason, nothing. You all should laugh now. If you don't laugh now, I'll make you to laugh for 10 minutes. Your cheeks will pain. I want you to laugh now. Ready? One, two, three, start. Simply laugh. Some comedy laugh. Let's see now screen will come or not. If you screen you don't come means again we all will laugh. Screen is coming now. Check. Aha, screen is coming. See, it's scared of my smile. Laugh, no? Hmm. Come on. An electron is revolving in fourth orbit of hydrogen atom. It's asking calculate number of waves during revolution. How to find number of waves? How to find number of waves? Come on, copy the question. In a question itself, some information is there. Directly you can say number of waves. That's it, 4. Very good. What is the orbit number? N is equal to 4. 4 means number of waves are 4. Number of waves are 4. Very good. Number of waves are 4. An electron is revolving in a fourth orbit of hydrogen atom, which means number of waves are 4. Very good. Super. Now, part 2. Calculate the wavelength of electron. How to calculate? What is the formula I have given you? What is the formula I have given you? N lambda is equal to 2 pi r. Okay. So N lambda is equal to 2 pi. What is the r value? 0.529 n square by z. Am I right? So 1n here, 1n here, directly I'll cancel. After substituting y to cancel, before substitution only I'll cancel. Again, tell me what I have done. Only R formula I have substituted, children. That is 0.529 n square by z. N on both the sides, it will be cancelled. And then lambda is equal to 2 pi into 0.529 into which orbit? Fourth orbit they have given. And which element they have given? Hydrogen. So how to find for hydrogen? 1. Then it will be 4 2s are 8. 8 pi into 0.529 angstroms. Okay. You can stop here. They'll stop here sometimes. Sometimes they'll continue it. If they continue, you can do pi value is 3.14. Normal multiplication only you can do. Rough multiplication also you can do. Rough multiplication be like 0.5 into 8 times means how much? 0.5 into 8. 0.5 2 times means 1. That is 4, no? 2 into 0.5 is 1. So only 4 will be left. 4 into 3.14. It is around 12 like that. You can do it. Understand? Rough calculation or full if you want also normal multiplication. Okay, got the clarity. Keep the heading. The next part in today's class, 2 parts. Today's class I segregated into 2 parts. One part is de Broglie, successfully you finished. De Broglie concept, different formulas, relationship and various numericals you have done. Now the next concept in today's class is Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Come on. Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Write this definition of this principle and copy exactly how it is on the screen. Just a minute, I'll be back. Copied? Done? Very good. Now, read the definition. Heisenberg uncertainty principle. What is this principle? It is impossible to measure both position and momentum simultaneously with high precision. Meaning is, see, position. What is the meaning of position? Let's say my position, I'm sitting on this chair, so my position is here. And momentum. Momentum means, suppose if I am moving, then only you can tell my momentum. Momentum means mass into velocity. For example, this is the board. Okay, you are sitting here, first bench, second place, or second bench, third place. You are sitting, and here is the board. Ice will be that side, na. But I can't show the ice that side, no. So I'm showing this side. So you are the one. You are seeing the board. I'm here. This is me only. Okay, this is the I'm writing here. Okay, and that time what I'm doing, I'm moving board here, there. I'm continuously moving, explaining. I'm moving near the board, going there, coming here, coming in between the students, and going there, talking, explaining. So when I am teaching, you can tell my speed, my mass into velocity, momentum. You can say. But you can't tell my position, whether I'll stop at second bench and I'll check notes na, I'll stop at fourth bench and I'll check notes na, whether students are writing or bunking na, what they're doing, where I will stop, you can't say. When a particle is moving, we can say it's a momentum, means mass into speed. But we can't tell its position because it is moving. Suppose if a particle is stopped, I'm sitting, you can say my position, but you can't say my speed because I'm not moving. Heisenberg principle says that we can't tell both momentum and position simultaneously with high precision, means high accuracy. It is impossible. It is impossible to find both position and momentum of a particle with high precision simultaneously. At a time, we cannot say. And he gave one formula, that is delta P into, and you have to understand this. Then only you can solve. That comfort you get if you understand this formula. Delta P into delta X greater than or equal to h by 4 pi. He gave one formula. Repeat the formula. Delta P into delta X greater than or equal to h by 4 pi. Very good. And now, whenever we are solving a numerical, no, that greater than symbol, no need. Delta P into delta X is equal to h by 4 pi you take and you solve the numerical. Okay. And coming to the terms, h is a Planck's constant. We know it. 6.626 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second. Again, one joule is, what is a joule unit? Kg meter square per second square. This you should fix in your mind. Otherwise, units won't go. Kg meter square per second square. Fine. And pi is a constant 22 by 7 or 3.14. Pi value, constant value. And then delta P. Delta P is uncertainty in momentum. See, understand, uncertainty in momentum. The word uncertainty means error. So delta P means error. How much error is in momentum? That is delta P, error. Why error? Because we can't find both momentum and position. No, that's why we will substitute that error value. How much that error is there in the momentum. And then delta X is uncertainty in position. See, P is not position, X is position. Sometimes, no, in the car, that is speed, P is position. No, P is a momentum and X is a position. Repeat the formula. Delta X into delta P into delta X is equal to H by 4 pi. Okay. Suppose, see, this P means, delta P means mass into velocity. Same formula we can write m delta V into delta X is equal to h by 4 pi. This also we can write. This also we can write. Understand? Understand? Fine. Now, see here what I discussed with you all. Delta P into delta X is equal to h by 4 pi. I discussed with you. Let's say, for example, delta P is 0. Delta P is equal to, for example, h by 4 pi into delta X. Just I moved from there to here. Listening now. Delta P, I'll put 0. What is delta X, I'll put 0. One term I'll put. Let me put delta X 0. What is the meaning of delta X 0? Understand? Error is 0. Error in position is 0. What is delta X? Uncertainty in position. You can also say error in position. So if it is 0 means error is 0. That is the meaning. No error. What is the meaning of error 0? You are doing an experiment. You came and asked me, ma'am, this is my experiment. Can you please review it? Then I told error is 0. Error is 0. Then what you say? Oh, error is 0 means my experiment is exact, correct. Okay. So what I'm going to tell is delta P is equal to h by 4 pi delta X. If X is 0 means, then something by 0 means delta P is infinity. H by 0 you will get. H by 0 means something by 0 is infinity. If the meaning of this is, if error in position is 0, error in position is 0, position is 0, then error in momentum is, error in momentum is infinite. What is the meaning? What is the meaning? Error in position is 0 means no error. No error. Means exact, accurately you found the position. Accurate value. Exact value you found. No error. Then momentum is infinite error means momentum is completely error only. Completely error only. Completely error only. So what he want to tell from this is, one is error means one is without error. I mean, position, momentum, both we cannot find simultaneously exactly. We will find, but not high precision. If I am moving, you tell my momentum, but you can't tell my position. If I am sitting, you can tell my position, but you can't tell my momentum. If one is 0, if my momentum uncertainty is 0 means there is no error in my momentum. You are telling exact my velocity, my mass into velocity. Then you can't tell my position. It will be infinite error. What do you say? Clear, no? And one more thing. Delta P into delta X is equal to h by 4 pi. Okay, so h is how much? 6.626 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second. And then this 4 is equal to, what is that? 4 into 3.14. So these are the constant terms, no? Every time cancelling and solving the numerical, it wastes our time. Instead of that h by 4 pi value, if you able to remember, we can save some time. What is the technique was, h value is, h by 4 pi is 5.2. 5 plus 2 how much? 7. No, 5.27 into 10 to the power of minus 35. 35 meters. Meters. Wait. Joule second, no? Why meters? Joule second. This is a unit. So entire h by 4 pi value how much? H by 4 pi value how much? 5.27 into 10 to the power of minus 35 joule second. See, this is what? Entire this value. No, ma'am, I'll do it in exam hall only. Then you will take minimum 3-4 minutes again to cancel this. Why wasting of time? Directly remember this. Repeat 5.27 into 10 to the power of minus 34. Minus 30. If you can do, no problem. See, 3 ones are 3 twos are. 2 ones are 2 twos are. 1 by 2 is 0.5. 0.5 into 10 power of minus 34. Nothing but 5 into 10 power of minus 35. You can do it. But this exact next decimal also you can do if you remember. Huh? Okay now? Okay. Next. Very good. Here is a question. An electron has uncertainty in position. Uncertainty in position means what is given in the question? Uncertainty in position means what is given? Delta x na, delta p na. Position is not p, x only. Delta x is given. Delta x is 1 angstrom. 1 angstrom is equal to how many meters? 1 angstrom is equal to 10 power of minus 10 meters. Okay. They were asking us uncertainty in momentum. What is the formula, children? Tell me. Come on. Tell me the formula. What is the formula? Copying, huh? Okay, copy. Scolding me. Hey, wait, madam. I'm copying. You are asking question. Copy, copy. Come on. If I don't give this pressure, what you do? In between, you'll open phone and see. If I keep on asking means what you do, you will try to answer, no? Correct, na? Finished? Areva, super. Tell me what is it? Delta P into delta X is equal to H by 4 pi. So H by 4 pi value you will put again every data? No, you should not put. Delta P into 10 power of minus 10 meters. This is directly you should put how much? Say delta H by 4 pi value 5.27 into 10 to the power of minus 35 joule second. Joule is kg meter square per second square. This is joule and into seconds. Okay, na? Into seconds. And then this 1 meter will be cancelled. Then 1 second will be cancelled. Then delta P is equal to what will be left? This 10 power of minus 10 comes this side. Then minus 25, na? Minus 25.27 into 10 power of minus 25. If you feel confused, hello, 10 power of minus 35. If it comes, it is multiplying. So it will divide. Then if it goes top, it is minus. As it is, it will become plus. If bases are same, you can add exponents. Minus 35 plus 10 is equal to minus 25. Negative sign is there for greater number, so you should put there. And then kg meter per second is the unit which is left. Am I right? Everybody clear? Got the clarity? Understand? Very good. Next. Calculate uncertainty in velocity they were asking. Velocity. So which formula you have to use? Which formula you have to use? Tell me. Calculate uncertainty in velocity they were asking. Come on. Which formula you will use? Lambda is, which one? This is uncertainty. Delta P into delta X is equal to H by 4 pi. What is the momentum formula? Mass is fixed, change in uncertainty in velocity. M delta V into delta X, H by 4 pi is the formula. So this value we know. What is the what we want? Delta V we want, no? Then 5.27 into 10 to the power of minus 35 joule is kg meter square per second square into second. See, directly I can write kg meter square second, but every time I'm clearly showing you joule value. Okay? And then mass is how much? Mass of which one? In question, electron, na? Mass of electron. What is the mass of electron? 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg. What is in position? How many angstroms they have given? 1 angstroms, na? 1 angstroms. Then 10 to the power of minus 10 meters. Okay, fine. This meter, I'll cancel. 1 second, I'll cancel. And then kg, I cancel. Only meter per second is left. What is left? Meter per second. Let us take this is roughly, let's say 10. This is 5 ones are 5 twos are. Then it will be 0.5, rough value. 0.5 into then 10 power of minus 35. If it goes up, 10 power of 45. No, these two together. Then 0.5 into 10 to the power of 15. 1 point I'll move this side. 5 into right side I'm moving minus 1 I should do. Remembered? Right side moving minus 1. Left side moving plus 1. 5 into 10 to the power of 14. Why? Any wrong edit? Okay. Understand. This is 41, no? Okay. 4, 141. 41 minus, this is 6 na? Oh my God. 6. 35 minus 41 is 6. Then 6, if one decimal I move this side, 10 power of 5. Now okay. Correct. Let me check the answer. You also got same answer or any variation? Different answer you got. That's it. Correct. Done? Very good. Very good. Next. See the question? Come on. Write faster. Calculate. Very good. Very good. You're doing so nicely. Come on. Calculate uncertainty in velocity of an electron if uncertainty in velocity and position are equal. Very much important model. Like, see, calculate uncertainty in velocity of an electron. What they were asking? Uncertainty in velocity means what is a term? Delta? Delta V they were asking. Very good. And what data they have given? If uncertainty in velocity and position are equal. So delta V and delta X are equal. Okay. What is the formula? What is the formula? Delta P into delta X is equal to H by M 4 pi ma'am. Delta P is nothing but M delta V into delta X is equal to H by 4 pi. Now, they were asking, finished, huh? Finished? Shivan? Good. They were asking delta V, they were asking. So what we should do? This term also delta X place delta V only we should put. Because you get a confusion. Delta V place can I put delta X? No. Why? They were asking velocity uncertainty. So velocity should be there in the formula. So M delta V, delta X place also you put a delta V, which is equal to H by 4 pi. Then it will be M delta V whole square is equal to h by 4 pi. Then I'll bring that m down. Then it is h by 4 pi m. Then delta V is equal to square root of h by 4 pi m. 1 by square root of 4 is 1 by 2. Then square root of h by pi m. Either they can stop your numerical directly by giving this option, or they may ask you the next final step. What do you say? Crystal clear? Got the clarity, everybody? Done? Shall I give you one more? Will you try? Will you try? Understand how I did? Very easy. What are equal, you see? Write that formula. Then substitute. Your time starts now. Your time starts now. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Your time starts now. If uncertainty in velocity, they're asking delta V only. But position and momentum are equal. Try wrong also, no problem, no? So it's free mind you try. Free mind. Finished? Good girl. Take time. Do slowly, no problem. Don't demotivate by seeing others. Oh, so fast they have done. No comparison. No comparison. Do it. Take your time. Do it. And check your mistakes. Day by day, you have to improve. Come on. Come on. You can do it. What is that? Calculate. See the hint. Calculate the uncertainty in velocity. Delta V, they were asking. So what is the formula we have? Delta P into delta X is equal to h by 4 pi is the formula. In the given question, they're telling that uncertainty in position and momentum both are same. Delta P is equal to delta X, they were telling. Fine. And the question is with respect to the velocity. With respect to the velocity means what? M delta V. And then let us see delta X. Delta X place, what you can substitute? Delta P only you can substitute. Delta P I'll substitute. Why I'll substitute delta P? Because they told that find the delta V only. So delta V only they told us to find. Then it will be m square delta V square is equal to h by 4 pi. Then I'll keep only delta V square. What do you mean by delta V square? Uncertainty in velocity. Uncertainty in velocity. What is the meaning of uncertainty in velocity? Error in velocity. What is that? Error in velocity. Done. Then it will be h by 4 pi into m square. Then it will be v is equal to square root of h by 4 pi m square. So I can bring 1 by 2 outside. Square root of 1 by 4 is how much? Square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 4 is 2. 1 by 2. Understand? 1 by square root of m square root of 1 by m square is, if it comes up out m only, because square root of m square means square and m will be cancelled, only m will be left. Done. And then square root of h by 4 pi as h by pi as it is. What do you say? Now one time write various formulas based on Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Only these two formulas you learned, right? There are another three formulas. Come on, write the three formulas. Copy exactly. Formula box. Formula box. No need derivations. Actually, derivation we have like how to derive also there, but it is not in your syllabus, which is not needed to learn how this formula came. There is a proof. Every formula, how it came, there is a proofs. But for the double differentiations, applying mod, so much will be there, which is not needed for you. If you remember the formula, it is enough. Copy. First formula, delta P into delta X is equal to H by 4 pi. What is the second formula? M delta V into delta X is equal to H by 4 pi is the second formula. Third formula is delta E into delta T. See, we are replacing this to another way. Delta E into delta E T. Delta E means uncertainty in energy. Delta T means uncertainty in time. One is energy, one is time. Next, another formula. Delta lambda into delta X is equal to lambda square by 4 pi. Repeat the fourth formula. Delta lambda means uncertainty in wavelength is into uncertainty in position is equal to, see, in every formula H by 4 pi, but this is the only formula lambda square by 4 pi. Repeat, lambda x lambda delta lambda into delta x is equal to, what is that? Lambda square by 4 pi. Next, last formula. In every case, h by 4 pi, no, 1, 2, 3. This is hv by 4 pi. hv, velocity. Velocity, not frequency, not nu. V, frequency, velocity. Formula is kinetic energy uncertainty. Delta Ke into delta X by is equal to hv by 4 pi. Understand? So repeat the 5 formulas. Delta P into delta X is equal to h by 4 pi. In 1, 2, 3, h by 4 pi only. Next, M delta V into delta X is equal to h by 4 pi. Next one, delta E into delta T is equal to h by 4 pi. And the next, delta lambda into delta X is equal to lambda square by 4 pi. Okay. Last one with respect to kinetic energy. Delta Ke into delta X is equal to hv by 4 pi. In every case, 1, 2, 3, h by 4 pi. Here, hv by 4 pi. Above one is lambda square by 4 pi. Above one is relation with the lambda. This is the relation with the kinetic energy. With this, your today's class about de Broglie's and Heisenberg uncertainty principle successfully completed. Understand little bit? Went into your mind? I'll send you practice questions today, DPPs. Will you do it? By today night, you have to finish it. Every question you have to try. See, solutions I'm providing there, it does not mean that first thing I don't suggest you to buy the solutions. It is only for the student who really need it, ma'am. I want how you did, how to do it for that extra support only. If I give for everyone, you see simply answers. You should not see answers. Based on my class, you have to solve the questions. Understand? After solving only, if still any question, still it is troubling, then only you should see how I have done. Understand? Understand? Shall leave you for today. Any doubts in today's class? Crystal clear? Clear? Oh, correct. 1 second. 1 second. One day. Tomorrow, in tomorrow's session, I'll cover you. Okay, na? Subbalakshmi, small concept is there. That is one curve part I should teach you, and drawbacks of Bohr model postulates. 5 postulates I have to teach you. Next class, I'll teach that, and then I'll start tomorrow quantum numbers, principles, various principles. In next class, I'll teach you. Okay. This is today's session. See you again in next session. Until that, keep smiling, keep shining. Have a nice day. Bye, love you. See you again in next class. Have a great day.